Monday. Today we're going to be kitting up my next diamond painting, which will be Pastel Seascape by aminaali. This is a 72 by 50 centimeter. It's a round drill kit. Now this one is from diymoonshop, which is no longer open. I feel like I have seen aminaali's artwork licensed somewhere, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. So if any of you guys know where I can send people for aminaali artwork, please let me know in the comments down below. I will pin your comment to the top so that people can find the information. I love aminaali's artwork. I have completed two. Have I completed two, or will this be my second? Maybe this will be my second piece from this artist. Like I mentioned, diymoonshop is no longer open. That was a couple of years ago now. Some crazy stuff went down, and it was really unfortunate to see the shop just decline so much. I remember when it was such like it was so exciting when you placed an order with them because it was all customized, and then they started moving away from that, and then things just got not great. So unfortunately, things happen. At one point, like, people weren't getting their orders, which is just so gross. So I just want to put it out there that if you were, I want to say if you were screwed by diymoonshop, but I know that's not the best wording, but that's what I'm going to go for. I do apologize for that, even though I don't need to apologize for other people, but I know sometimes it can be frustrating to see people work on canvases from shops that just did you so dirty. So just know that I don't support anything diymoonshop did, but I did buy all of my canvases from diymoonshop, and I do want to work on them. I purchased them because I loved the image. I feel like diymoonshop was one, I'm not going to say the first, but it was one of the first kind of like indie type diamond painting companies, if that makes sense. They licensed with some really cool artists, so I have some great kits from them, and I really want to be working on them. So this diamond painting, Pastel Seascape, is on my 25 kits for 2025. I had wanted to work on it last year, but I felt like the diymoonshop stuff was still kind of fresh, and I didn't want to upset anybody. So we are going to move on from that and work on the kit. I should say I'm going to move on from that, not we. I don't want to group you guys in on that, but I do want to work on this kit and work on my other diymoons, and hopefully people understand that. So today we are going to be trying these Forever Young tray / container combos again. I bought these back in December, and I tried them with a diamond painting earlier this year, and I did not like them. But I was also kind of in a not loving diamond painting phase at that point in time. So I feel like that played a part. Now I'm trying to decide, I think they now come with like a storage container rather than a cardboard box. I don't have that option. So I'm trying to decide if I want to label them, excuse me, if I want to label them this way. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. Okay, so let me grab some washi tape. I have this light pink washi tape that I will be using, and I had to do a little bit of sticker surgery. So the diymoonshop kits did not come with stickers. They came with printed labels like so. So I kind of cut and glued to make them a smaller label, and then I ran the labels through my very old school Xyron sticker maker, and that's what we're working with, which is so funny. It felt so like 2019 diamond painting. These are in baggies, so I feel like we should be okay. I also got a new little garbage can for my kitting up videos. I used to have a mini garbage can and then, excuse me, it broke and I just never replaced it. So I found this one on Target's website for, it was on sale for like $4 during Target Circle Week. So I picked that up. I have my drills, I have my labels. I do not have a drink, so I feel like I might have to stop here in a minute and go grab something to drink. It's been really weird here, weather-wise. It was really, really hot, and then we had one really cold day, and now it's hot again, and my body is like, what season is it? What is the temperature? And I've just been very congested and all that good stuff. So I might have to pause and take a break to grab a drink, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. So since my last kitting up video, I had a crappy week of work, so we're just gonna skip over that and move right to the, oh, actually, okay, so I gotta get my timing right here. I think it was Monday was the All-Star, MLB All-Star Home Run Derby. So Steven and I watched that together, and it was great. Steven is a huge Yankee fan, and I used to be a huge Yankee fan, like old school Yankees, like Derek Jeter, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada, like those Yankees. So we were watching for Jazz Chisholm, who I actually don't like. I don't know, there's something about that guy that just rubs me the wrong way. And when I heard that he was in the home run derby, I was like, what? He's not really a home run derby kind of guy. And he hit 3 home runs, so we definitely enjoyed giggling about that. I was watching for Cal Raleigh, who is the catcher for the Mariners, and he won, so yay. So we watched that. We were up so late. Oh my gosh, I don't think we went to bed until like 11. And then I think Tuesday was the All-Star game. So we were up watching that, and then we both fell asleep on the couch, and we missed the best part of the All-Star game. So that was a bit of a bummer. But every year we like to kind of watch that together. It's just a fun thing for us to watch together. And then, you know, work, all that fun stuff. We took our nieces up to camp this weekend. So our nieces are technically my nieces through my sister. So they don't go to camp very often. And my youngest niece texted me on, maybe it was Monday, and was like, can we have a sleepover? Can we go to camp? And I was like, oh, let me find out. So we took them up to camp, and we picked them up on Friday, which just seemed to be the worst day possible for Steven and I. Like, everything that could go wrong on Friday went wrong. So I get home from work first. So, you know, I don't do all the stuff, but I do a lot of the stuff so that when he gets home, we can just leave. Well, we couldn't do that because my sister lives across the river from us, which I know sounds funny. It's like over the river and through the woods and all that fun stuff. But she lives across the river, which just is crazy with traffic. So we decided we were going to leave late, and we would pick the girls up late, and we were just going to try to miss traffic altogether. So Steven gets home from work, and it had been so hot, so he was just exhausted. And he was like, I'm just going to sit on the couch for a few minutes. And I was like, no problem. I have basically everything done. You just need to double check your bag, and we're good to go. And I'm like, what time do you want to leave here? And he was like, I was thinking 5:20. And I was like, okay, cool. Steven gets home from work 3:45. Like, that's plenty of time. So I was done with everything. All I needed to do was pack up the food that we were taking. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to diamond paint until you're ready to go. So I sit down, I'm diamond painting, and I don't hear anything. I don't even hear like him on his phone. I don't hear him talking to Luna. And I'm like, this dude fell asleep. Like, I know he fell asleep. So I walk out there and I'm like, Steven? And he was like half awake. I just want to say, I'm going to put half of the bag in here because I found when I used these the first time that if I put too many drills, I couldn't actually shake them out. And I know I'm going to have plenty of containers. So I'm going to do 2 bags of 762. I might actually go back and separate one of those other bigger colors, but we're going to see how we end up. But I have 2 containers of 762. So Steven, he was like kind of awake, but he was kind of out of it. And I was like, hey, are we still, you know, are we going to leave on time? And he's like, yeah, we'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So I go out there again and I'm like, Steven, it's 5 o'clock. Like, are we good? And he's like, yep. It's like 5:15. I'm like, all right, Steven, should I text my sister and let her know that we're going to be late? And he's like, no, I'm getting up. So he gets up, and doesn't this man get into the shower? He got into the shower, and he did not get out of the shower until 5:23. And I was like, dude, it's fine that you're taking a shower, but my sister is waiting for us to go get the girls. So he's like, yeah, we're not going to be on time. I'm like, you think? So he gets out of the shower and I'm like, hey, we have to fix the cameras. So we have cameras on the outside of our house, but we have inside cameras that we only set up when we leave Luna by herself. So usually we take Luna to camp on the weekends, but because we have the girls and the spare bedroom where they would be sleeping is where Luna's litter box usually is. And Luna like attacks feet in the middle of the night. So we close bedroom doors when she's around. So we decided to leave her home. She's fine for a regular weekend. You know, we left Friday evening and we were back today, Sunday. We were back today around like 2:30, I think. So, you know, she's fine for a full day by herself. Anyway, I'm like, we need to set up Luna's cameras because if you watched a couple of weeks ago, I told you guys that we had to get a new router and modem. So we had to reconnect the new cameras to the new internet, blah, blah, blah. Well, of course, that wasn't working. Steven couldn't get it. It was a mess. And, you know, he was all stressing out. He finally got it. And we were definitely late at that point. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. In the meantime, while Steven is trying to set up the cameras, Luna lets loose the biggest hairball she has ever had. And we have all hardwood, but there are a couple spots where I have rugs. And I have this like really big, fluffy, furry rug on my side of the bed. And doesn't she run over to that side to let go of this huge, I'm telling you guys, it was the biggest hairball I've ever seen her have. And I was like, of course, of course. So she got sick. I had to clean that up. It was the carpet, so I had to clean that, you know, extra clean it up. So I text my sister and I'm like, hey, we're gonna be late. Nothing's going our way. So, and usually I like to sit with Luna for a little bit and just make sure that she's okay. And that was a really big hairball. Usually she doesn't make any noise when she gets sick, but she was like doing this like low meow right before she got sick, which is what kind of triggered us to think that something was wrong. And so I just wanted to sit with her for a few minutes and make sure she was okay, especially because we were leaving her for the weekend. Just to put everybody at ease, Luna is fine. She was fine for the weekend. We had the 2 cameras so we could check on her, and she's eating fine. So it was, in fact, just a hairball. So finally, we get out the door, and Steven has to stop for gas. So he goes to the gas station, while he's pumping gas, I go into my purse and to get my motion sickness bands. Now, I have pretty severe motion sickness. I've talked about it before. And for the drive up to camp, I don't have to take any medication because we're on the highway all the way up. But being in the car for like any amount of time can just make me nauseous. So I do like to wear like the pressure point bands. So I'm looking through my purse. Now, mind you, when we were here, I went out into my car because I park it in the garage. So I leave my purse in there. I went out into the garage. I got my purse. I opened my purse to put my prescription sunglasses in. And I pull out my motion sickness bands to make sure they're there. And I put them back in. So we get to the gas station. I go to put my motion sickness bands on. And I can only find one. Yep. So Steven's already like a little worked up because he's like, why is everything going wrong? So he gets in the car after pumping his gas and I'm like, we need to stop back at the house. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I just went to get my motion sickness bands and now there's only one in here. And he was like, Jesus Christ. So we pull into the garage. Not into the garage. We pull into the driveway. He opens the garage. I open the back door of my car, and there's the lost band just sitting on the floor. So, problem solved. Well, then we go to pull out of our driveway, and I have talked to you guys a couple of times about our wonderful neighbors. The neighbor's child is laying in the middle of the road, as he does, and he is just laying there, just laying in the middle of the road. He's got his bike in the middle of the road. He's laying down. Nobody's outside. So Steven's like, Jesus Christ, like I can't even pull out of the driveway. So it just, you know, it was just one of those days where nothing was working in our favor. Thankfully, getting over to my sister's house across the river was not bad with traffic. We got the girls, no problem. We didn't get there until like 7 o'clock because of all the crap that happened here. But it worked out. They had extra time to get ready and pack their stuff and all that. So we get the girls, talk to my sister for a couple minutes, get the girls, we're on the road. Mind you, it's 7 o'clock and Steven and I hadn't had dinner. So when we pulled up to my sister, I'm like, oh, have the girls had dinner? And she was like, oh, no, I didn't feed them. And I was like, oh, okay. So Steven's like, why don't we stop at Subway? We'll go in, we'll chill out for a second, and we'll eat. And I was like, perfect. So get on the road, get to the exit that has the Subway that we like on our way up to camp. He pulls up the app because, you know, fun fact, it's much cheaper to order on the app and go in and pick it up. He opens the app. No, the store is closed. Not even like the online ordering was down. The entire store was closed. So he's like, okay, we can't get Subway. So they had just opened a Taco Bell right next door. And I was like, looks like we're getting Taco Bell. So we got Taco Bell. We pulled over in the parking lot. We ate. And then we made it to camp. Finally. But yeah, it was a little touch and go there for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But we made it. So that's all that matters. I think I'm okay with that amount in there. So then we played. Once we got up to camp, we unpacked, got the girls, you know, set up in the spare bedroom. And Elizabeth, my youngest niece, she brought a game called Uno No Mercy. And we started playing that at like 9 o'clock at night, which in hindsight was not a great idea. But it was so fun. It's like a new version of Uno and there are extra cards. So there's like draw 10, there's like reverse draw 4, and you can stack a bunch of stuff. So like if 3 people stack a plus 10, then the last person has to pick up 30 cards. So it just makes it like extreme Uno. It was so fun. Steven played it, I played it, Steven's mom, and Elizabeth. And we had so much fun. I think at one point, Steven's mom had to pick up like 30 something cards. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. And that was Friday. So it ended up being fine, but it was a little touch and go there for a little bit. Something has gone wrong here, and I don't know what it was. This has gone wrong. Oh boy. What did I do? 9:59. I might have to go back and watch my footage to see what I did wrong here, because this is actually, hold on. I grabbed the wrong color. I think I grabbed 3850. I did. Okay, so this is 3850. I'm sure one of you is like screaming at the screen that I messed up. Okay, so this is 3850. We were going so well with the teals that I must have just picked up the wrong one. Okay, so this goes here for now. 38, 38, 38. And this goes in here. 950. That's so strange though, because look, 950 is like this color, and then 958 is like a teal, which is so close to 3850. I'm glad I caught that quickly, because that could have been an issue. So Saturday morning we got up and we were going on the boat. So we went on the boat, we took the tube, the girls went tubing, and Steven even went tubing, and it was so hilarious. Oh my god, it was so funny. It was a beautiful day though. It like wasn't super hot, so you could actually enjoy just being on the boat. And then so the girls tubed for a while, and then we beached. So, you know, pushed the boat up onto the beach, had our lunch. The girls and I floated in some blow-up floats out in the lake. It was a very nice day. I didn't really take any pictures. Just kind of, I don't know. I was just kind of like living in the moment, I guess. But on our way back up the river to Steven's camp, they both fell asleep in the back of the boat. So I think they had a great day, and they were worn out a little bit at the end of it. And then stupidly I don't even know what time we started the game. Maybe at like 8:30, we started another round of Uno No Mercy, but this time Steven's dad and my oldest niece Natalie joined in. So there were 6 of us playing, and we played for like almost 3 hours. We were all delirious by the end of it. Steven's poor mom had so many cards. She actually ran out. We ran out of the deck, so she had to like resign. She had to like quit and give her cards back to the deck because we couldn't keep playing. She had so many cards at one point, and then Elizabeth got a +30 draw, and she was like, I quit. So it ended up just being the 4 of us in the end, and Natalie won. So that was fun, but it took us so long. And it was really funny because Steven's mom asked his dad, like, are you going to play with us tonight? And he's like, yeah, I'll play a couple hands of Uno. And we were like, a couple hands? And then it ended up being one hand that lasted like 2.5 hours. So if you're looking for a fun game, we were cracking up. Like, we really were. It was so funny. And I don't know, it felt like more strategic than a regular game of Uno. So we had a lot of fun, and I asked Elizabeth to bring that game on vacation because I think it'll be a lot of fun to play. And then today, Sunday, Steven had to help his dad with a couple of camp projects, and unfortunately it was due to rain at camp, so we didn't get to take the jet skis out, which Elizabeth was hoping to do, but we'll have to do that next time they go up. 37.27. So we came home, and unfortunately, ugh, I absolutely hate that I even have to say this, but we ended up leaving. We didn't leave early, really, but there had been an Amber Alert in our general vicinity for camp. It was a few exits down from us, but we were told that there were going to be checkpoints along the highway, which we had to go down, which is, you know, it happened on the southbound highway, and we were going southbound. So we were kind of like, ooh, we should probably plan for our ride to be a little bit longer. And like right before filming this video, it ended up that they canceled the Amber Alert, and not for a good reason. So I don't want to, like, they found the child, but the child is no longer alive, which is just absolutely devastating. And now it's coming out that there was never actually an abduction, and they think it was probably the father, which just makes me want to punch somebody. So that poor little girl, she was 9 years old, and it's just absolutely gut-wrenching. I could cry. I cried when I found out that she was found, but not found alive. I don't know. It pisses me off. So it actually wasn't too bad. And I saw one trooper. No, I think I saw one trooper on our way down, and then there was an accident, so we saw a few more troopers, but we did not run into any checkpoints. So I don't know if they already knew what was going on, so they called off the checkpoints. I don't know, but we made it in pretty good time. The girls made it home. They were happy to be home and see their mom and dad, and all in all, it was a great weekend. We made it home right before the storm came through our neck of the woods, which was great. We had everything loaded back into the house, and then the skies opened, so I'll take it. And then since then, it's just been a pretty low-key, easy Sunday. I would say we got home around 2:30, 3 o'clock maybe, and I watched the NASCAR race, even watched a little bit of the Yankee game. We were lazy and had frozen pizza for dinner, which is usually what I plan for Sundays when we get home from camp, just because, you know, I'm not home to take stuff out of the freezer, and a frozen pizza is just so much easier. I still haven't unpacked though. I need to unpack. I need to finish my diamond painting. I have one section left of Summer Nights, which is my current whip. If you saw my kitting up for that one last week, I would have finished that this weekend, but I decided not to bring a diamond painting up. I wanted to just be able to hang out with my nieces. So I do have a little bit left of that one. I'm kind of hoping that I can maybe finish that tonight, and then I can start this kit Monday, because I would very much like to be able to finish this one before we go away on vacation. And if you're familiar with diymoonshop diamond paintings, they were known for being pretty confetti heavy, so I want to make sure I give myself enough time, but I don't want to take this kit on vacation. I really don't want to carry it over into August, so I'm going to be working a little bit hard on this one, I think, but I'm very excited for the image, so I'm not too upset about that. It's absolutely wild to think that we have less than 2 weeks until we leave for vacation. It's going to be a wild time. I feel like summer is flying by. I feel like back to school is going to be here before we know it, and I'm not ready for that. I have so many projects to do at work, and I am not ready for back to school just yet. So hopefully it doesn't go by too quickly. I am looking forward to vacation. I just wish it was a little further out, because I feel like I'm not quite at that point yet where I'm like, oh my God, I need a vacation. But we'll see. All right, we have one more color. This kitted up so quickly. I actually kind of wasn't expecting it to go by this smoothly, but then again, I'm used to kitting up diamond art clip kits, which tend to have a lot of static. So 36 colors, not really any static at all. I'll take it. And I have a few of these trays left over, so I feel like there was a color early on that I was kind of thinking, maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think okay. So I'm gonna take one of these and I'm going to split this a little bit, and then I'll have a couple of extra trays to work with if I feel like I come across some colors that maybe should have been broken into two. I just feel like that gives me so much more room to work with. So it looks like I have 3 extra containers. I'll probably save one of those for trash drills, and then I can kind of use the other 2 as I need to. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I like the storage system better than the first time. If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like I used this for Snow Queen, which was my first kit for 2024, and I actually ended up hating that diamond painting. Not hating, hating's a strong word, but I didn't love the process, and I feel like that kind of contributed to me not liking these containers. So I'm gonna try them again, and hopefully I have a better experience this time around, but we'll see. I will pull a tray, like a regular tray, just to have with my accessories in the event that I don't work well with these. I'll just start dumping them into a tray and we'll go from there. But I am going to give them a fair try again this time around, and hopefully things go a little bit better for me. So that's going to do it for today's kit in chat. Again, it was for Pastel Seascape by Aminaali. This one is a 72 centimeter by 50 centimeter. It is a round drill kit. Now, Diymoonshop did give one AB towards the end. It's something they added in. So I have an AB 963, but they also used to give the non-AB version. So I'm not 100% sure which one I'll use. Or maybe I will use a combination of both of them. Let me grab the canvas actually, because I have it right here. So that is the G symbol. So it looks like that's going to be in like some areas of the sky. So I'll have to play around with that. I'll see what I decide, but I'm really excited to work on this one. It's a beautiful diamond painting, and I'm hoping that it works up pretty well. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have completed this kit. Maybe you have this one in your stash. I know there were a couple of you who were excited to see this one worked up, and I'm excited to get to it. It's been quite a while since I have A, worked on a Diymoonshop, and B, wanted to work on this kit. It just always seems to be the one that gets pushed off, and I'm excited to actually fit it in to the schedule this year. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody has a great start to your week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!